Hello and welcome to episode 8 of our Timberborn Update 5 Iron Teeth Mega Build playthrough. Here is cycle 13, day 15. Start of a 7-day drought last time. We improved our food situation a little bit with some kohlrabis, and we've got some more food improvements to do, as well as taking a look at what exactly we've done incorrectly down here. There's a lot of speculation as to what that might be, but we'll get to the bottom of that. We're going to go ahead and start, though, by adding another food thing that many of you have suggested, and that is corn. Because it takes a while to actually produce the rations because we have to have the food factories, but we are in the position now where it's going to be necessary for us to start making more and more and more of this stuff. So what we're going to end up doing is taking probably a decent chunk out of this area and turning that into some corn farming. This is still trees, obviously, and then down here is trees as well. And this is probably going to be mostly industrial stuff once we have everything else taken care of. But since we're early enough in the drought where it's not really going to matter too much, we've got a pretty good spot here that probably should be retained for tapping purposes. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to unmark, well, I could actually unmark all of this and just remark what we want to cut down. I'm going to take pretty much all of this up to about here and just cut it out. Just get rid of it. So that leaves us from the path 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this should be 7 as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I did my math wrong. Surprise, surprise. But I will get that out of there. So all of this on this side is going to be cut down with the help of our tree guys. And of course, to do that, we're going to have to actually build some more storage for logs, which we don't really have up here. Not yet, at least. So let's do that as one of the first things we take care of today. I'm going to just go ahead and stack these guys 4 high. Give us plenty of extra storage. And then we will have ladders come up here, since we have the ability to make use of all those. I'll just run this right the way up here. And then, of course, we will have to have a platform halfway across. Actually, no. We're going to have platforms pretty much all the way across this. So we'll just have that marked like so. And, of course, we can continue building up here as time goes by. But that's going to be an important thing, and I have my fingers on the wrong buttons on the keyboard. Good job. We'll get that taken care of. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and pause these guys, these 2 lumberjack flags, and we're going to build several of them over here. And I'm going to have, I think, for the benefit of us actually growing crops, we're going to want to have maybe 2 of them here, and then a couple, at least 1 down here, 1 down here, so we can start from the outside, because this is the area that's not going to be infected with the bad water, is going to be this entire corner right here. We obviously can't get back here until we have some of these trees removed, and this is all the stuff that they're going to be getting rid of, so we'll let them take care of that. And I should have some other jobs that we can pause, especially because these aren't turning. Go ahead and pause those 2 things right here. The name of the game is going to be acquiring some other beavers to be able to come in here and actually do the work. So we can probably also pause, yeah, we can pause this forester, we can pause this lumberjack flag, get that all good to go. These trees will be here forever until we get rid of them. We want to try to force these guys into cutting the trees down, make sure these are all connected. Yep, they are now. Make these top priority. Get those guys going here. If I can click on the right spots. There we go. We'll get those 4 going. And we'll see what happens with all of that, because that's where we're going to have to expand farming out onto that side. This area is pretty well saturated already. And I don't particularly want to get rid of any of our plantings here, because we are going to have those. What we really need, though, is we really need some more canola oil. And that's something we're going to have to, we're really going to have to just redo how this whole thing's set up, because it's not looking great. And that is part of the reason why I'm putting some of the farming over here, so I can eventually get rid of this giant kohlrabi thing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to pause these decontamination pods because we don't have any contaminated beavers. That should free up some of our power supply here. And now we're supplying 800 for a demand of approximately the same with what we currently have running. So that is better than nothing. We will make it work. This obviously is paused because we don't have any bad water. Same with the explosives factory. We need the gears, but we don't need the gears as much as we need the planks for some of this other stuff. And some of you were very outspoken about my priorities for doing this stuff. So we will we'll have to kind of change what we got going on here. But we don't want to we don't want to remove too much of this food processing, because that's going to cause us a lot of problems. We do, however, seem to have a pretty good amount of fermented soybeans. So let's take a look at what... okay, of course that doesn't do anything. Let's pause a couple of these guys who are doing the soybeans. We still have this one. We still have that one. Cassavas, we actually don't seem to be making enough of those. So we'll have to figure out exactly what's going on. I am going to go ahead and pause these water pumps because we have 2,300. These guys probably should remain paused at all times during a drought, because we do have two here, and eventually we're going to have lots more everywhere else. Yeah, see, now this is dry. We already knew that was going to be a thing. So one of the things you guys wanted me to fix was fixing this when droughts start, bad tide starts, etc. This basically, the way this is set up, should pretty much always be set to maximum height. And that's what we've done. The default is set to 1. Drought starts 1, bad tide starts 1. I lowered this because of flooding. And part of the reason this was flooding is because this is not automated. I thought it was. But this probably needs to be set more on flow rate than time. But I don't think I can actually do that. I can't have a flow rate control. I'm pretty sure. Let's check out... yeah, see, this is just height or contamination. There's no flow threshold. So realistically, this needs to always, at the beginning of a drought, go up to 1. Bad tide go up to 1. And when the drought ends, probably needs to go down to 0.5 in anticipation of all of the outflow that's going to be happening. Now, bad tide, we probably don't need to... well, I guess we could also set that to 0.5. So we'll see how that works. If we have to put it down to 0, we will. And what we can do with that is we can also come over here and have a second set doing the same thing. If we have the outflow from these channels into this area set up the way it probably should be, then we'll be in decent shape. And the water will go out the way we want it to go. Especially if this is always set to 1.5 or 2, depending on how the stuff goes. But bad tide height for this needs to be 0. Always. I know this is set to... oh. These aren't automated. Okay. Well, bad tide height needs to be 0. That's just simple. But we will have to manually raise these based on how this is set up, because these stream gauges cannot have more than 10 attached, I don't think, and right now we have 8. So these guys are set to disable during temperate. That should not be the case. We should, you would think, if this is all set up correctly, we should be able to just have everything come out from the corners on each of these. But presently that's not happening. I think this guy with this outflow right here, these 6, should be okay to actually be open during the temperate. But, I don't know. We can try it out. I don't think we need to be worried about it. The ones that we haven't fully taken care of, they probably still need to be closed. But if we disable this during temperate, then this is going to flow out here and probably not flood what we have going on over here. Because remember, eventually all 4 of these sides are going to be, hopefully, done in a similar way to how this is set up, without too much weeping and gnashing of teeth. Seems to be my favorite thing to call that. But these guys right here, to have this disabled during a temperate because there's so many ways for the water to get out, is probably fine, because we want to make sure we're getting as much water through this as possible without flooding. So we'll see how that change affects things. Have we started cutting trees down? We have. These guys, I have not forgotten, also need storage nearby. We just haven't really had a good place to put it yet. So that's going to be one of those things we're going to have to get into once everything is cleared up. Or I can just bite the bullet and just put one here, set to supply, so they don't have to worry about it. Just give them some sort of an avenue with which to deposit their wares without having to go all over the place. But we're not quite there over here. Not quite. We'll get there. So let's go ahead and turbo mode. Get out of this. See what is going on. I mean, food-wise, we're looking really good. We have 3,000 stored up, but we really need to start going further. We need to make sure everything is set up in a slightly better way. So we have this space right here that up until recently was a bunch of pine trees. We're getting rid of this. I think what we want to do, since we're already here, we want to look into putting irrigation barriers in key spots, because if we want to have all of our bad water, bad tide, whatever, contained in these channels, which we do, we need to put these along these central things, not the outside. A bunch of you have left comments of varying degrees of politeness telling me, well, what do you think about me putting these here? We're not going to put them there. Don't worry. But we're going to have to put them all the way along here. And if we want to put our large water wheels, because of the depth requirements, they're going to have to be up on platforms, which conveniently, just for the sake of illustration, if I were to put this here, for example, this, I might actually move it one step closer to the water source. I don't know. We'll see. But this would preclude me from building a levee here. But you can, if we take that out of there, you can put an irrigation barrier underneath the platform. So I think that's going to be the move for us to take care of this. It's going to push the path in one block on these interior segments, but the outside is going to be perfectly fine. And eventually, if we can get at least one part of this segmented off with these irrigation barriers, we're going to be in really good shape for growing things. Of course, we can move the inventors. These probably need to move anyway. But for right now, the only bad tide proof area in this quadrant is right here, which is where we're going to start growing corn. And then if we have all this powered, we can have the processing for the corn here as well. And we can maybe think about putting different things going across the river here and see what we can do with that. Let's also not forget, we have these archways. They're not going to bridge all the way over a 4 wide, but they could get us part of the way there, depending on how we want to run things. Because as you know, you can't build anything over the water sources unless you have a bridge or something else. We also have the side platforms, so we could just do 2x1 platforms right here and just have this go all the way. Of course, in the vanilla game, well, I don't have the specific mod that changes this, but this water wheel only has the output on the axle here and here. There's another version that has here and here that's used in the water beaver mod, which is super nice, but we don't have access to that one in this playthrough, so that's not what we're going to do. All that being said, let's, for right now, not build that quite yet, but I did want to show you guys that that was something we could reasonably accomplish. Let's prioritize haulers here and here, get these guys going. And I want to see... Okay, it looks like I might have room to do the same thing here, except put it right next to what we have going on. So let's take care of that, give them a nice entrance for that. And they're going to have access to a lot of this. We'll continue to go further in this way, and then eventually get everything else taken care of. And then, of course, we can have plants and, well, crops, mostly, taken care of that way. Alright, so we now have tons of log storage. These guys can do whatever they want in terms of taking care of that. I think we should be okay. So what I'm going to do in this corner here, I'm going to unplant the kohlrabis that are here to here. We're going to harvest these. We obviously don't really need to be growing so much kohlrabi anymore, but we'll take care of what we have to take care of and move on from there. This is going to be corn to start because we can't set this up quite yet the way that I want it to be set up. So we'll get those guys taken care of. This should probably be set to harvest only. Well, not harvest only, but prioritize harvesting. That's looking okay. Yeah, I believe we want this to go any faster. We might have to build a couple more of these lumberjack flags. Yeah, so let's move back in closer and closer and closer. This is not going to get us quite into the corner, but it's going to be very, very close. Will still be helpful, though. Oh, of course, there's this tiny tree right here. Well, we're not really in a rush. We're just trying to make sure that we do the best we can with what we've been given. Just about all you can ask for. We have some homeless beavers. I wanted to originally start building over here with our planks, and I think I actually have the means now to do that, to free up some space. So let's do that. Put these large barracks in place right here and right here. And these two in place will let us get rid of this one and be right at about that capacity. As our well-being goes up, we will, of course, have more beavers again. But we do have to get to that point. So let's not be too overzealous in what we're doing. I am going to go ahead and start letting these guys cut stuff down because, remember, these are deprioritized. These are not. That should be, hopefully, a little bit faster. And we'll be good to go. Now, in terms of well-being, again, something we have not really done much of at all. We have a couple campfires, and that's more or less it. And we really, really need to be doing a little bit more with that regard. So, since this is, for right now, pretty much just infection territory for all of our bad water, I'm going to go ahead and just pop a couple of campfires down here, just so we have a little bit more of those. And rooftop terraces obviously have to go on top of buildings, which we don't currently have. We do have these scratching posts, which are nice. Showers we probably want to get into at some point. I'm not going to put them in here. I'm not that dumb, because this is going to be contaminated when we have a bad tide. But swimming pools are going to be probably an important part of our middle area here. I could even put swimming pools right behind here. That's actually not a bad idea. Let's give that a shot. Let's see if we can make that happen. So I've got, no, that's a wind tunnel. There we go. There's a swimming pool. That, to me, seems like a pretty slam dunk idea. Let's do this over here too. Start to give these guys a little bit more of an option with their recreation, because I would love to lower our working hours, but we just don't have enough beavers to get all of our stuff done. Got to take it one step at a time. So, anyway, this barracks can be gone. This barracks can also be gone, and now we're at housing equilibrium, and we have extra space right here for, guess what? Another gear workshop, which we will so desperately need. And we also should be turning these industrial lumber mills back on as well to supply these. The only issue is going to be power coming out from our engines here, but the drought's almost over, and we'll be able to use our power from these water wheels as well. And now we are looking a lot better in this area in terms of getting rid of stuff. We haven't hardly gotten any of these kohlrabies harvested yet, but we can go ahead and plant some corn, that is. Come in here, because this does take 10 days to grow, but once we actually start, well, it's not refining it, it's turning it into some sort of rations. But once we get that going, we're going to be in really, really good shape for food. So we can look forward to that. I think also it's probably about time to say goodbye to our inventors here. At least this first couple rows. That one can go away as well. And what we're going to do here, like I said, is we're going to start moving the path inboard one row. In fact, I can just go ahead and demolish the path like this. That'll be fine. And that's going to allow us to place, based on the location of where we want our large water wheels. If I put one here, I don't know that it's going to mess with the this, but I think I might want to base it off of the location of this middle spot here. So if we put one here, the next one can go here, then the next one can go here. Oh, okay. Well, we'll try it. We'll start at the far end and see what happens. So that's going to be an irrigation barrier here. Let's skip 4, and an irrigation barrier there will let us build where we want to go. All right, and now it's cycle 14. Let's go back to single time speed just so I don't make any dumb mistakes. We'll pop this one in first time, and then the convenient thing about this being on this second level is when we go to build our food factories, which we can go ahead and unlock now, these will actually take power input directly into the second level. So we can just have this go right across the way, right like so, build ourselves a platform here, and then a straight power shaft right into the top. Problem solved. Everything is hunky-dory. Good to go. The less than ideal part about that and how we have this set up is that if we were to do this, we could not put a third in between. But do not despair. There is always the option to put something else, like, for example, an oil press in the middle that will still conduct power and will still be a pretty good use of the space because both of these buildings will use the oil. So let's do that. Put that guy in there. Although this needs to be a low priority, this also needs to be a low priority. We just want to make sure that we have everything in place to build the rest of this. And this, of course, is going to require treated planks, which until now we haven't been able to make because we have not had enough juice turning the water wheels here. So we are going to be working on that. We're making plenty of space here. And I think, yeah, if I have this set to corn rations, we're not growing eggplants or algae yet. For right now, we might diversify into eggplant a little bit in the future, but I think having a bunch of corn is going to be better. Focus on one advanced crop at a time and see what you can do with it. So let's put in a farmhouse, maybe right about, yeah, right about here, or maybe I should put it on this side. I don't know that it really matters, honestly. Just put that right there for right now, and then the rest of this can all be corn. We need to count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll plant here, because that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can, okay, I can't count. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There we go. Plant corn here. That'll be fine. Obviously, it's going to take them a while to actually build all of this, because we've had some other stuff that we've been working on. But having the corn right here is going to make sense. They can hold a limited amount of the corn in inventory before they make rations out of it. So what we need to do is just find a place to store rations. But we're not there yet. We're working on it. We will hopefully be able to accomplish something in that regard soon, but not quite yet. So let's turn this back on. We have water coming back in. This guy's ready to go in terms of being deep enough to swim in, because remember, we put all of these plugs in and it can only come out the corner on this side. This corner is actually, oh, this is still open. This probably shouldn't be, honestly. I did keep that ticked, but I had not adjusted the default height to 2. So now, yep, we're not flooded down here. That's an improvement. We're generating tons of power. Well, relatively. We can get these guys going as well. We got to get some more beavers at this point, though. That's our problem. We don't have enough beavers. And back we are again with homeless beavers, so you know what to do. Now we got to get some more planks in place. We do have a lot of these. Well, we have 5 of these turning right now. So let's pause a couple. Give our planks a chance to catch up. We need to be building more planks. I know we're going to get there. It just takes time. We have 5, I guess, of these things going. We just don't need to have 5 of these guys making the gears, since we're not building so many of those large tanks. Although we probably should be. And by probably, I mean we absolutely should be. And we just have to decide what's going to be more important for us to use our platforms on. I think I'm going to lean toward housing so we can have everybody actually taken care of. We'll just build the one for right now. And then I will go ahead and start the process of getting this other large tank put in place. That will need to be water as well. Set to acquire. Okay, that's good. And we've planted corn, and we have beavers here waiting to harvest it. So that is looking nice. Good progress being made here. Let's go ahead. Move these guys, these lumberjacks, further in. I will put 3 of these right here. Get rid of that guy. This log storage probably should move a little bit further here. Set this to supply. Get rid of that. And then we can do the same thing here. I'm not gonna be up in my feelings about getting rid of this pine tree, but we will let them just chop it down and start the process of moving these 2 further in. I think this is probably okay to leave right here, since this is still going to be pretty close, but this other one was kind of far away now that they've moved that way. So, we are now making almost 360 HP. This building only takes, well, since they don't have the ingredients, it's not taking anything. How close are we? 10%. Yeah, okay. We're going to pause this food factory, and I'm going to instead raise the priority of this oil press. We're going to have a storage for the oil, which is going to become something that we have to put in here. But we need to make treated planks. That's something that is going to be pretty important moving forward, so we can actually make these irrigation barriers. These ones underneath our water wheels are the most important, but eventually we want to have at least the middle part of this completely covered on all 4 sides here. And we'll have to come up with some sort of a system to cross over the top. We'll see what happens. But I don't think we're going to have any issues with that. This is working nicely. We have this still open on this side. I did want to force water through here so we could still use all of this. That's looking good. Why is this set to 0? When I set it to... okay. Well, it's currently working, so I don't think we can complain about that. This we fixed already, so we don't have to worry about that. That's looking good. They are going to finish this irrigation barrier first, and then up here is going to be really good for us to plant some additional oak trees, and that should be fine. I will just take this all the way to the outside. I think it shouldn't ever have enough bad water to get high enough, excuse me, to kill these trees. So I will let that be, but I might actually unplant this last row just to be safe. Give these guys a little bit more room. Make sure this is cuttable, which it is. And then cut these down as well. These engines right here, I wish I could pause these based on seasons. We don't need to be burning the logs to generate power because, well, we don't have enough going on here. I did want to put additional smelters, but we're not there yet. So I will pause those for the time being, and we will move on to up here. Now, we should have, at this point, yes, we put this in. This one's waiting on treated planks. No issues there. We are making canola oil, and we need storage for it. So that's something that can go up over here once we have stuff taken care of. These pine trees, we have a lot of wood. I'm not concerned about keeping the pine trees so much as I am keeping these oak trees. They will yield much more wood per square. So getting rid of this, please do not crash, thank you. Getting rid of this is not going to make me lose any sleep. We have over 800 logs, we're fine. I just need to be able to make room to put in some storage. So, since we're already here, I will go ahead and move as much of the pathing inboard as I can while I have the opportunity. And then this passageway here is going to have to go up 1 block so we can put the irrigation barrier underneath it, but we will get there. We'll get there in due time. Other things that are going to need the treated planks, I believe... yeah, the dirt excavator, if we want to do any of that, but I don't know that we honestly really need to. We're kind of between a rock and a hard place on some of this stuff, the way it's set up, the way that I've chosen to set it up at least, and I do understand that, but we will we'll get to what we have to get to when we get to it, one step at a time. That's how we avoid catastrophes, or at least try to avoid catastrophes. Now, we also are going to need to relocate our breeding pods, which means we're going to have to move a bunch of this stuff. We have 5,000 science. I mean, these are so cheap to build. I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of these. And we are going to have to strategically remove these as soon as they finish making a beaver. Gonna have to get that figured out. And all of our pumping in the middle here probably needs to go away. It needs to be moved to the outside. We already knew that was probably going to be a thing, but we needed to take care of some other stuff first. Everything else seems to be going pretty well. Yeah, I like the idea of putting the swimming pools behind this. This is smart. Obviously, in the middle here is not going to be as tenable, but that is also where I wanted to put these giant flywheels to store power. Now, once we have everything put together correctly, it should not be an issue. But now we really need the storage for the canola oils. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make... I don't have any gears, but I'm going to need them. So why don't we, based on how this is set up, why don't we go ahead and just put one of these right here, set it to store canola oil, and obtain. Because we can put all sorts of other stuff here. Let's not forget, all of these fermenters and everything, we can put one along the outside here. It's not going to take up any extra space. It's just filling in a spot that otherwise would not be used. So if I make that for soybeans, for example, we can start migrating all of the food processing maybe a little bit further away and keep this as regular industrial for the time being. Because we are going to need to replace all of this stuff with the same larger kind of wheels here. It's just going to be a huge, huge long process. That is not going to be the easiest thing in the world for us. But we will get it done. Let's start putting these irrigation barriers in. Yes, we'll just run this all the way here. We are going to have it pretty much the entire way on the inside. Another reason for doing this is we don't have any storage for the traded planks just yet. And I kind of don't want to have any. I kind of want them to just bring it straight out here as they're making them. But we do need more beavers to make that happen. We're building our population up slowly. Okay, this one just finished. I did say I was going to try and keep an eye on that. So, again, we're going to be moving that here. And I kind of want to see if there's going to be a better option for doing this. Because I know I'm going to have to move the path in one segment. This might not be the best spot for it, honestly. Might want to move that out toward... where are we storing our berries? Right here? Yeah, we might want to start moving these guys. I'll just build 2 of these here. Why not? Just for the time being. No reason not to. Seems to be my motto, at least, for the time being. Anybody else that just finished spewing out a beaver here? Not quite, but this one's close. Keep an eye on that. This path can go away. All of this, really. What's being stored here? Explosives, which means nothing. Good, that can go away. And we can plant more corn, especially if we're going to have these barriers put in place. I can at least plant that much more. We'll get that done. We need the gears. I don't need to use up all of our planks. But we do actually need the gears. I don't have gear storage really much of anywhere. Did I not demolish this? Okay. Let's get rid of that. Okay, these are looking okay. Let's just connect that. Get rid of those 2. Making progress. These guys can reach the corner, and they will, so that's okay. Looking pretty decent so far. Yeah, I think taking the time to fix a lot of these problems has been a good choice. And we should unpause this. We can actually have storage for fermented soybeans and get rid of these other small ones. Yeah, we have 12 open slots. I only have the 42 planks, which of course most of are going to go toward building this large warehouse. That seems to be working just fine. Our metal situation is not looking fantastic, but it could be worse. I think we can be pretty happy with how things are unfolding. I am going to start replacing... well, that's not actually going to be any faster. I'm going to start replacing these. Just in bits and pieces here. Once again, we're going to leave 3 at the end open for corner drainage purposes. Just going about our merry little way here. If I can click in the right spot. There we go. So that'll be that one side. We do still have enough time for the builders to do this. They haven't got too much else that's currently demanding their attention. They're not going to have the gears for a while. So I'm going to deprioritize that. Get them in here to build these guys. Should not be that big of a deal. It's just logs. Everything else is looking good. Let's check our progress in these breeding pods. I might have missed one or two of them. Yeah, let's just get rid of that guy already. That's fine. I'm going to get them to build these breeding pods. I know I just said I needed them to do other stuff, but this is an easy thing to go ahead and fix right now. Again, move these guys a little bit further in here. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and build 4 of these right along the side here. I don't want them all to go at the same time, so that's going to be a fun thing. I think these two starting at the same time is going to be fine. These are not currently prioritized, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, we have corn starting to come in. Let's turn on our food factory so we can make corn rations. And we do still have some canola oil, so that's looking okay. Just making incremental changes here. Does take some time. Alright, anybody else close here? Ah, that one just finished. Good. You're gone. These two are... Oh, clicked on the wrong thing. Those two are looking okay. Still not making any progress here. Probably because I told them to build this other stuff first. But we should hopefully soon see some of this get put in. This water tank is looking pretty okay. Hauling post. We still have some beavers in the builders' huts, so that's working out fine. Corn rations. We are actually producing corn rations. We need to have a storage for it. I don't really have a place to put it for right now. I'm going to want to probably, the way this is going, until we have this set up, I'm probably going to want to just have a large storage for the corn rations somewhere like right here. That we know is going to be infected by the bad water when that comes. But look at this. We already have all of this irrigation barriered, if that's going to be the correct term for it. So that's looking good. This guy's about to be done. How are we looking here? That guy and this guy as well. So we'll wait for these guys to pop. We'll get rid of those and start migrating these closer to the berry storage. That should be any second now. There we go. That's done. Which means that's done. Which means, where's the other one? There. That's done. So now we are getting pretty close. They are... Oh, bad tide approaching. Yep. Yep, I knew that was going to be a thing. Let's take a second here. Examine what we've got going on. These should still be set. I'm just going to be paranoid about this. I'm sorry. There's no real no real other way to get around it. Those two are still good. That's what I'm most worried about. That and this one as well. Yep. Yep. All right. Cool. As long as we're not polluting where the crops are growing, then we're going to be A-okay. That's good. We just need to make sure that we come around to our double floodgates on the ends and lower these. We have not automated. I guess I could. No, I don't want to automatically, when the bad tide starts, lower these, because that's just going to drain the water out of the corners. I should put another stream gauge to automate this, but we have done no such thing. So we're going to have to remember to manually do that. We are going to automatically do it later. I got other things I need to focus my mind on, so I don't make any stupid mistakes here. But one thing we do have to fix now is we do have to get these levee pieces back in place, because I already took those out. Probably should have done it a little bit earlier, but now that's going to be priority number 1 for the time being. Make sure that we're in a decent spot, and we will of course have to turn the engines back on. So yeah, these guys got to make sure they're doing this, and it looks like they are. Making the corn rations has not seemed to have been that big of a priority, because, well, okay, now we actually have corn. I guess we had a small stock. That's fine. This guy is making fermented soybeans. Do we have the storage complete? We do, and it's half full. All right, that works. This fermented soybean storage is going to go away. That raw cassava storage probably should become raw soybean storage, because we don't really have... we don't have any raw soybean storage. We probably should have not deleted that. Should have just changed the thing. Oh well, it happens. Put that there. We're going to need raw corn storage, which we can get to at some point. I want them to finish these treated planks, irrigation barriers here. I know it's still going to bleed through on this side, but we should see kind of a diagonal line and maybe right here, based on how this is set up. Assuming they can get the rest of these in place. We do have 2 days, so maybe that's going to work. These guys are waiting on logs. We have plenty, so that's not a problem. Food-wise, again, we're looking great. Water, we're looking great. We have probably need to start building another one of these large barracks, but we don't need to worry about that exactly at this moment. We're just collecting everything we've got going on. Berry-wise, we actually have a good stock now that we don't have to eat them, so we can think about removing some of these berries to plant other crops. We do want to keep a good number of them because, of course, the iron teeth do need them to reproduce. So I think what we're going to want to do... where's my other kohlrabi storage? Oh, I should have been checking this whole time. Okay, those two are done. These two are getting close. Okay, that works. Alright, this guy's just about finished. I'm not going to even try to do this yet until we get these pumped out enough to make it so we're not going to lose any more water if I take these out. But we're working on it. We've already gotten rid of pretty much all of these trees here, so we're going to get rid of this. Well-being's up to 13. That's looking good. Unpause these 2 lumberjack flags. Yeah, the rest of this is looking just fine. The rest of these pine trees, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Just manually removing them. Not going to be a problem at all. Because we want to start planting other stuff here. Okay, I didn't want to get rid of all of these. So what I'm going to do for the time being is just put a path in around the outside of this area. Make sure we're good to go, so we can't spread the trees, and we can also have farms and stuff planted here. So this will give them something to work toward. I think we're going to want to put pumps around the entire outside here until we figure something else out. But we're not hurting for water. Everything is looking pretty good. Don't have any complaints in that regard. I think we can be pretty pleased with what's happening. Let's not forget, when the bad tide actually starts, we will need to lower these gates. I promise we'll fix that at some point in the near future, but right now, not something we're going to be able to do. Okay. We'll let those guys finish up, then these guys can take over. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead, since we have so many berries stored up, I'm just going to go ahead and start the process of removing these first 4 right here for berries. I'm not going to get rid of the ones that still have berries on them, but 4 blocks here is going to be fine. All right, so bad tides start. Pause immediately. That is a menacing sound. And yeah, we still can't see this, but remember the objective here was to lower these floodgates. Okay, good. That's set. These raised. They will be once the contamination reaches them. So we'll just set that. There is nothing else otherwise automating these. This one's already gone down, but I didn't tell it to. Maybe I just never raised it. But that'll go down. I forgot. See, I'm doing the exact same thing I said we weren't going to automate because it would cause us to lose water, but I forgot just how fast this bad water comes in, and it is a rip-roaring current here. So this is just about 11% contaminated. This is already shut. That's already shut. I probably don't need to manually confirm this, but excuse my paranoia for just a second. That's manually I think? Manually shut? Yeah. I should be looking at the advanced tab. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. There we go. Yep. Done, 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 done. This is done. This is done. And these last 2, again, shouldn't have to check, but I'm going to anyway. That's looking okay. We shouldn't be contaminating anything else here. And looks like we're good. These, of course, are still going to die because I haven't been able to put terrain here. But, yeah, this is working great. No infection here. Going to unpause these engines. And, wow, this actually has not reduced the infection as much as I thought it would. our corn is not being irrigated. Oh, no. I did not do this correctly here. Okay, so this is bad because... Oh, boy, I'm going to get flamed in the comments for this. I have not... Oh, jeez. I did not dynamite this out, and we don't have dynamite. So let's turn this on with a quickness. Yeah, absolutely get that fixed. I need to make dynamite immediately here. This, unfortunately, is most likely going to kill all of this corn. We're gonna have to replant it, but we do we have 25. We have 25. Oh man, these two might stay alive until I get rid of everything here. So that sucks, but I can't blame the game for that. That's just me not keeping tabs of everything that I'm supposed to be doing. Oh, I really thought this was going to be so much better. All right, I have explosives. But this still has water in it. We can save these two corns for right now. Oh man, the way this is set up, we're gonna have to get rid of our tapper shack for sure. Pine resin also is gonna get moved away. This needs to be removed. I'm gonna have to go 5 by 5. Not the corn though. The corn can stay. Yeah, we really stepped in it with this one. Let's actually prioritize this. Really stepped in it with this. Gotta have a bunch more explosives. I don't have any way for the beavers to actually like get into the bad water, right? Like surely I'm not that stupid. Well, that seems to be working okay. Yep, corn is dying. Corn is dying. Harvest the corn. Prioritize harvesting. I should be able to save at least those. So that's working, and I am growing some over here, so it's not all lost. It's just going to take us a while to recover from the stupidity here. Well, some of you guys seem to enjoy that, so I guess that's fine. It all works out in the end. Okay, 2 explosives, 3 explosives. This is going to have to go ahead, double dynamite these 3 in preparation here, and then we'll do the rest. Actually, since we're here, might as well go ahead and start the process of putting the path in place. Get these guys going. Let's prioritize, yes, all of that. I don't need the pickup to be prioritized at all. That can be the lowest possible priority. Did they actually harvest? Okay, they still have 1.1 days on that. You know what? Maybe if we can actually get... If we can get the dynamite produced, we have the extract. If we can get the dynamite produced, we might actually pull this off. Who would have thunk it, huh? I don't know. We'll see. Just gotta get these guys going here. All right, let's go, bud. Let's make some dynamite today. Let's get it done. I don't know that I'm going to be able to get everything else built. Do I have planks? I do. I have a lot of planks. I've got enough with this other stuff here. Okay, so what's going to happen is I'm going to get rid of this. I know we're going to lose our water out the side, but it is mission critical that we actually get this all placed down. So let's get that done. I am going to have to get rid of this, but not right now. Oh, that actually has it's reset the timer for some of this stuff. I'm going to set that off because it's already there. That's because it's already there. All right, that's going to get double platform. This will be where the dump goes. But hey, we reset the timer on enough of this corn where I think we might actually be in okay shape. All right, so that's going to get... I clicked the wrong thing. I know this is what I know. I keep pausing and people are apparently not a fan of that, but we're gonna make this work, folks. We are going to make it work. That I can promise you. Let's... can I click on the thing below it? I guess I'm gonna have to click out. There we go. It's already prioritized. All right, we're working. We are working, folks. We are making it happen. So some of this is just about ready for death. Oh, it's actually full of corn. Full of corn. Prioritized by haulers. Prioritized by haulers. Get that going. Let's get this show on the road, folks. Let's go. I got stuff to do. I got beavers to feed. We can get this dumping. Hey, Croast. Thanks for helping us out here. Get your water in here, bud. Let's go. Prioritized by haulers. Guess what? Surprise. 24-hour workday to save our corn here. It's okay. You can go to sleep once water starts coming out. And there we go. Back down to 18 we go. Problem solved. Dynamited. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Just in the nick of time, folks. We made it happen. That is the emergency response team at work, I suppose. Yeah, we can be pretty happy with that. Now, what I will do is I will unplant these two. 30% grown. This corn is going to die if it hasn't already, but we managed to save almost half the crop. That is something to be celebrated, I think, at least. So once this gets properly dumped in place, we should be good to go. Yeah, we're working on something here. we sure are. I'll tell you what. So I think we're going to want, because of the way this is set up, we're going to want our farmhouse facing this way. So I will wait. We do already have one here, so that's fine. I'll wait for this corn to get picked before I put the rest of that in. But we can go ahead and put some small warehouses on the side here. I bet you can't guess what's going to go in here. That's right. It is raw corn storage set to supply. Look at that. And now we can plant the rest of that corn back. Well, a good bit of it. There we go. Some of this is still bad water afflicted, but we can now come in, examine our breeding tanks. Okay, these two are just about ready to get removed. Just keeping tabs on this. There we go. That one's gone. That one's gone. These two will be next. Let's come out of hyperspeed for a second. Catch our breath. And then I'm going to put in, let's see, we got, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 10 before. So I will build 2 more here. So this will be 2, 4, 6, 8. This will keep us at 10. We are going to need more than 10, but I don't want to shock it too much at once. Gotta make stuff work in the time that it's supposed to be working. So we will go ahead and start putting in irrigation barriers. I know we're not going to get everything done at this exact moment in time, but we can make as much of a difference as we can with this, and I think we'll be okay. Yeah, get these paths out of here. In fact, we have enough capacity to make these things. We probably should just go ahead and build them absolutely wherever possible and get that going here. So far, this, it's doing something. We just have to be able to prevent the bad water from coming in the other side, and we'll be good to go. All right, back to triple speed. Yeah, we're making the steps. We are slowly getting to where we probably should have been 5 episodes ago. But yeah, we did not lose water in the mangroves this time around, so that's good to see. Working on that has been beneficial to us. Very nice to see that we don't have any contamination spreading here. That works nicely. This quadrant will be the first one to actually have all of the bad water stopped. I'll check. These guys should be done within the next day or two. And then we'll place additional... Okay, so these aren't really spaced out that well, but I guess it's kind of better than before. How close are we here? 47%, so we're not going to get there today. That's a little unfortunate, but we will be able to be in a pretty good position. We've got 243 planks. Okay. Yeah, so we want to make sure we are making dynamite, which we are. We really need to be pumping bad water, which they are. In fact, you know what? Just because we probably should have been doing this whole time. Let's go ahead, max priority these bad water pumps. Pause when temperate starts, unpause when bad tide starts, same deal. Double our output. We do have these 4 bad water storages right here. Probably should have been more than that, but I definitely should have done this earlier. That was on me. But let's get this going. I have the metal. I have the gears. Yeah, to build 2 of these for sure. I have the logs, so that's working well. Okay, these guys are done. They are DUN done. Let's get this out of here. We'll put in the rest of our irrigation barriers. Except this one in the corner, because I have to be able to get on top of stuff. So I think what's going to end up happening is this is going to get... Well, they can still get over here that way. This is going to get a ladder right here in the corner. And then we'll just go on top of the platforms here. There we go. And then on the other side of this corner will become a ladder as well. We'll just have that go that way. I know this is not the most elegant of solutions, but it does work, or it will work once we get everything in place, that is. All right, working here, working there. Looking good. We're running out of time for this episode, folks, but we have absolutely made some incredible progress. It's amazing what happens when you actually play the game correctly, huh? That's for sure. That's 59%, looking good. Yeah, I think we're going to be in pretty decent shape. Once we get this corner piece in, this will go almost all the way to the edge. Or at least give us another couple squares here, but that's fine because this entire right here is probably just going to be all food production. I think we can be fine with that. What I really needed was for this to get put in place, and I think we can make that a priority now. This forester I'm not going to unpause quite yet, but I do need to remember to put in our additional breeding pods. These guys, yeah, that'll be fine. I'll put those 2 in, and then before we leave, I'll put in 2 more, just so we don't forget. But yeah, we are just about at the end of this bad tide, and that is where we will end the episode once that's finished. But what a turnaround from the last couple of episodes. We have managed to do quite a bit of good here. We've got a robust food supply. We've got 1,500 fermented soybeans, 1,700 kohlrabis. We have almost 100 mangrove fruits. Corn and fermented cassava is climbing as well. We will need to plant more cassava. Don't worry, we will. We just have to keep moving more and more of this stuff around. But yeah, we're making stuff work, folks. It is absolutely working. Maybe not quite as fast as we originally wanted, but we can still be pretty proud of our progress here. And these actually can go away, so we can stop bringing logs all the way across the map to take care of all of that. But now we have extra space for corn rations to be made, so that's working well. We will need to have some more storage, but I think I'm going to keep the storage on the back side of this, or try to at least, so we can have all of our food production popped in here. If we do food factories, I can actually, wow, I could have this whole thing pretty much be food factories, the way we have this set up, and we might need that depending on how this ends up working out. The way this is set up, we won't need to run Powershafts because I can put another wheel here. This currently is enough to power all of these buildings, barely, but we're going to want to put another one here, and then of course some more down this side. But that's going to be something we get to next time, I'm sure, because now our bad tide is over. We'll flip over, looks like right now actually, into cycle 15. And there we go. We will leave these end gates down until the bad water is flushed out. And then we will manually close these. We'll do a brief recap of what we've gotten done today. And then that'll be it for this episode. And I will probably turn right around and record the next one, because getting some videos lined up ahead of the holidays, so I don't have to stress out every single day while I'm visiting family and taking care of other very important things about stuff, and make sure you guys have some continuations of this. So that's what we're going to end up doing with that. These guys look like they're just about done. Floodgates have gone down, so yep. Back up to 1.5 I will go. We can do the rest of these in real time here. Just want to make sure that one was good to go. Back up to 1.5, back up to 1.5. The rest of these should be open, but they're not. Oh, that's right. I didn't tell these to do that quite yet. Well, make it work. Automation is something we're going to have to probably mess with next episode, but yeah, we're looking good. We're going to be rerouting the water to come out of this corner very soon. Our mangroves did not dry out. We didn't have a massive catastrophe of flooding except for right now, because I guess I got a little bit more work to do on how that stuff is all set up. But we are looking really, really good, folks. Really, really good. We have made great strides in the process of fixing all of our food supply, even if we do still have a little bit of a growing pain in terms of getting this stuff situated. This should be disabled during temperate. I did not tick these because I was unsure about how that was going to work, but that's what's causing our flooding here. Just need to make sure everything's on the same page, and I didn't do a great job of that. So that's fixed. We are going to finish plugging these up next time around. But again, that's something for next time. We have done a great job of fixing stuff today. Hopefully that has satisfied some of you who have been more frustrated at my play the last couple of episodes in this one. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and think rationally. Take some advice from the comments, which I always do appreciate, even if sometimes it's nicer than others. But no, I appreciate each and every one of you, even those of you who are getting frustrated about some of the more dumb things I've done. So thanks for being here. Again, I really appreciate you. Also appreciate the Beard Boosters. Their fantastic support is what makes it possible for me to keep doing this stuff. So big thanks to those folks, and of course to you as well, even if you're not part of that. Thankful we get to spend this time together, and I hope we get to see each other again soon. Don't forget, I am continuously seeking submissions for the map colony review, whatever you want to call it, videos. There should be a couple of those coming out over the next several weeks. Going to organize it by faction. I've already got some submissions for the Folktales, a couple for the Iron Teeth. So please do keep sending those in. Should be a good time taking a look at everybody's stuff and enjoying the creations the community has to offer. But that is quite enough of my rambling for this episode. We will see you back into this series on, I believe, Sunday is when the next episode is supposed to come out. This one should be coming out on Thursday, I think. It's currently Monday as I'm recording this. So yeah, there's going to be a little bit of lag between Beard Booster rankings, I guess you could say, the tiers of how many people have been supporters for whatever months. You'll get in there when it shows up. That's just the reality of having the slight delay to this. But don't worry, I appreciate all of you, even if you joined and haven't been in the credits quite yet. I can't anticipate future stuff, so that's why you haven't been in there. But I do promise that you're going to be in there, and your beavers' names will appear as well. But that's all I got. It's the end of day 1, cycle 15. So let's pick this back up in the next episode. Thanks. Really appreciate you. Stay safe, have fun, and we'll see each other next time. Bye-bye.